Hey everyone, this is the second time I recorded this because I recorded an introduction to this video. It was great, it was epic, it's going to be a great video, and I realised I accidentally deleted it. I'll learn from my experiences. So this video we're going to be talking about Friday night dinner, how this tradition made a huge impact in my fat loss journey, especially at the beginning, and like understanding, wow, there are a lot of calories over the weekend, and I was thinking on Monday to Friday I'm perfect, I'm going to enjoy myself for the weekend, and it's about self-awareness. This morning I had a crazy morning. So I went to the gym. It was cloudy. I thought, okay, let's just go in a t-shirt and a jumper because it's going to be fine. No, I was wrong. It was heavy rain. I was drenched, and I just appreciate being comfortable, warm in some clothes. Honestly, went to the gym and everything was, I was wearing light blue and everything was dark blue, and very fortunately a few weeks ago I put my 10k t-shirt in the bottom of my bag because I was thinking, oh, maybe it'll get wet one day and I'll need this, and I needed it, and it was unbelievable because it was disgusting how heavy rain it was. And actually I did a video about this, and I actually didn't mind it that much because when I did the London Marathon 5 years ago now, when I trained for it, I ran from South Manchester to North Manchester and vice versa like a few times, and there was one time from North Manchester to South Manchester it was like frostbite, and I had frostbite, not frostbite, it was very cold, and it was snowy and it was cold, and I had frostbite for like half of it, and it was pelting down with the rain, and it was real mental challenge, and I think I cried afterwards. It was so tough, and I feel like every time I go out for the rain for like 40 minutes, 30 minutes, it's nothing much because I've had such tough experiences in the past. So I take that as a positive, and that's why I like walking in the rain much. It doesn't bother me, probably from that previous experience. But anyway, this video is going to be epic. I hope you enjoy. How this Jewish tradition every single week made a huge impact in my fat loss journey. Hey everyone, I'm the Jewish Fitness Coach. I help people become the best version of themselves through health and fitness. When I first wanted to lose weight, Monday to Friday, I was eating healthy, I was working out every single day, and because I was perfect, during the weekend, Friday night dinner, I was like, I'm going to enjoy myself, because Monday to Friday, I was perfect. I was so surprised because I was thinking, why am I not making any progress? I'm so perfect Monday to Friday, but actually, Friday night dinner played a huge part in my fat loss journey. Despite how healthy the food was, despite how perfect I was Monday to Friday, but throughout the whole week, if I am not in a calorie deficit, I wasn't losing any weight. So what I did is I put the switch button on during the weekend and actually take off the discipline button as much during the week. So what I would do is I would have more balance throughout the week, have the bag of popcorn, have people relax here and there throughout the week, and that means I wasn't as craving as much food during the weekend, and I was able to be a bit more disciplined. Discipline comes through education and actually educating yourself in foods. Now, healthy foods doesn't mean weight loss. It's actually about how much we consume. So where can you start with your knowledge? I have a free Friday night dinner guide. Yes, a Friday night dinner guide. And I've actually done a live training going over this guide, giving you some tips. So if you want this guide, DM me the word FND or Friday night dinner, and I will send you a link to my training. So in that video before, I was talking about Friday night dinner and how it affected my progress. Now I want to go a bit deeper into some articles that I've seen online. Now I should really screen share this. Maybe I'll do like I'll go through on the computer, but I've seen articles saying that, and I was really surprised about this because this is afterwards when I first like achieved my goals and stuff. Articles saying that Friday night dinner and Shabbat you could have up to 5,000 calories, and just over Friday night dinner you could have up to 3,000 calories. Now 3,000 calories and 2,000 calories is what a male or female will be having on a daily count. So actually having that at one meal is quite big. And when I first started the Jewish Fitness Coach, I was thinking about, I did a post, I remember it very well. It was actually really interesting to write. It was, well, I spoke to other coaches who aren't Jewish, and I was like, well, if you're at Christmas every single week, would you find it really hard to achieve your goal? And they're like, yes, it will literally be impossible. I don't know what I would do. And I was like, what would you do? And they would have to change it out, and they would have to not enjoy, they wouldn't eat as much as they normally would. Of course, Christmas is once a year, and I'm thinking, actually, we have Christmas 52 times a year with Fran at dinner and Shabbat lunch, because the amount of food is probably more than a Christmas day and so on. So you actually think about it as, yes, of course you've got to enjoy yourself, it's special, it's nice, you're with family, it's you're creating memories, but you've also got to think about actually building discipline, having that plan in place where, you know what, I'm not going to have 6 pieces of challah today. I'm going to have 1 or 2 pieces of challah. I'm going to have one with a soup. I'm going to have a small portion of soup. I'm not going to maybe not have starters, or I'm not going to have dessert this week. And then then over time, you've maybe hit your goal and so on. You're making progress. And then you can focus on adding these foods in and maintaining goals and finding different strategies for you. Now, of course, for every single person, different strategies. But the truth is, if you are wanting to make progress, you are going to have an element of discipline. Now, this is the thing. If, let's say, you were a bit more disciplined twice a month, that means, and you were disciplined, and then every other week you had a normal Friday night dinner, and one other Friday night dinner you were disciplined, you had like 1 piece of challah, you just had a portion of food and so on, that's 50% more disciplined than you were. So that's 50% less calories, a bit dependent, not 50% calories, but that would make a difference in your overall goal. So think about it like that. Even if you did once a month right now and you're more disciplined, it will make a difference. And that's really, really important to understand that. It's not about you gotta starve yourself every Friday at dinner, because that's not what it's about. It's actually making some small changes here and then with your eating habits and so on. And this is quite an uncomfortable topic for a lot of people. And I say this, and it's coming from heart, is whatever you've been trying in the last few months hasn't worked. So let's look at the problems and let's try and make changes to see if it is. And that was the hardest reality check for me, is I love Friday night dinner, and I still love Friday night dinner, and I still enjoy Friday night dinner as much as I used to. But I was like, it's not Friday night dinner, it's not the weekend, it's not a problem. It's because I'm not doing much cardio. And when I took the ego out, I was like, yeah, it is the weekend. I'm probably eating a bit too much over the weekend, and then I thought about, well, let's have less fats and so on, and I tried to lower my calories over the weekend, and I made some really, really good results myself, and that's why I help my clients. But it's taking a bit of a reality check for yourself and thinking, being self-awareness on what actually is the challenge, and when you become more self-awareness with what's holding you back, maybe the weekends, you'll make more progress. And it's tough at the beginning, because you got the pressures of other people enjoying themselves. Do you want seconds? All that sort of stuff. It's a challenge, but you got to realise what's the why behind the goal, and then also you got to realise how to balance food. Because one of the problems I see a lot of times is people will like say, I'm not having challah because challah is bad for you, and that's terrible. You're not going to have challah because actually you want to hit your calorie goal. Challah's not the problem, because what will happen is when you go to a wedding, when you have stuff and you have challah at a meal and you feel guilty for having it. You shouldn't never feel guilty for having food. Whenever you try and limit yourself to anything, it's because you're trying to have less calories, not because you're trying to have less carbs. So if that is the case, change the mindset shift, because that's not going to help build up a better relationship with food. So when I try to go on a little cut and so on, I will have less challah, I will have less soup. Now I will have maybe sometimes less vegetables if I'm having less vegetables. Vegetables are good for you, but even too many vegetables is the same about having too many challah. It's a lot of calories. So it all comes down to education and knowledge. Now, there is not thousands of resources when it comes to culture, traditions, and that's kind of what I'm trying to build with my training. So in the video beforehand, you would have, if you wanted to get a training, DM me the word or comment below with Fran at dinner or FND, and I'll send you a link. Probably best to send it on Instagram so I can actually send it to you, because it's a clickable link, whereas on YouTube I don't think you can click on it. I don't know. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Now, it was a big game changer for myself. Now, if you did not talk to anyone, I remember when growing up, I was so active. I was working out twice a day, and it wasn't the workouts, and you could work out loads and loads and loads, but if you're not in a calorie deficit, you're not going to lose fat. And that's where the Jewish tradition, Friday dinner, played a huge impact in my goals, because it was actually creating self-awareness. So actually what I'm doing now each week is impacting my overall goal. And that's really important too. When you understand that, you can attack it and be like, okay, what can I do now? What can I decrease the amount of calories I'm having over this Friday dinner? Or am I restricting so much during the week that actually I should actually incorporate a bit more balance, so that when it comes to weekend, I'm not craving loads of food and I'm eating loads. So that's a few options to kind of think about. But yeah, I'm going to do more podcast episode on my tips on like strategies on what you can do for Friday dinner, but that's a whole other episode itself. But so if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like and subscribe. Maybe send this to anyone how you think video could be really useful, because we're all about learning and that's really important. I'll speak soon.